G'day, my suckies. Hope you're having a wonderful day. It's Juzzy here for another video. Now, today I'm going to talk about one of my stories that have been sitting in the back of my mind for a little bit. Nothing too special, but something that was a bit of a shock when I was in grade 8. Now, what happened was when I was in grade 8, I was very nervous. I didn't really know anyone. I was just trying to make friends, just see how things were going. And one of my first friends, let's call him Jason. Now, I met Jason when I was paired up for one of my English assignments. It was just some group assignment we had to do. So we were set out, Jason and I, for an English assignment. It was partners, and we just partnered up. I'd already seen my mate Jason. I saw him from like a distance. I was like, oh, this Jason fella seems like a pretty cool guy. I'm gonna get to know him. Maybe become one of his friends, see how it goes. But for now, let's just get this English assignment done. So we sat down and introduced ourselves. I said, "Hey, yeah, I'm Justin." He's like, "Yeah, g'day, I'm Jason." And we started our assignment, not really thinking too much. Now, this was the first awkward thing, but it's a pretty great thing, pretty memorable moment between the two of us. So what happened was I dropped my pen on the ground, and I didn't really think too much of it. I'm like, oh, great, I've just dropped my pen. I'll just reach down and go get it. So naturally, I reached down, I went and grabbed my pen, picked it up, and you need like when you're grabbing something on the ground, sometimes you need a bit of stabilization, you know? So the unlucky thing for me was I didn't think about my stabilization. I happened to I happened to slip my hand on the middle, the inner thigh of my friend's leg. So poor Jason here had my hand, a stranger's hand we just met today, um, in his inner thigh leg. So after I went and picked it up, my pen, I turned over and realized where my hand was sitting. And I looked at it, and he was looking at it, and we both looked up into each other's eyes, and I don't think I blushed really hard then, like very hard, and I apologized. I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean it. I don't know what was going on, but whoops, I guess it happens." And he was like, "Yeah, no worries, dude." And we just got the assignment out of the way, and we were done, and I was left feeling very awkward. Later on, we, caught up a bit later out of class as we were still, starting to meet each other and get to know each other. And we got closer over time because we're in the same class. They had something called core groups at our school, so you were stuck with a group of people generally for the lower years, so uh, grade 8 and grade 9, or year 8 or year 9 for Aussies out there. So during this time, we got close, and I decided it would be a great idea to invite my mate Jay around for the first time. You know, breaking the ice. He's coming around just for a day, see how it goes. You know, uh, so it's my place is quite a distance away, so I was like, oh yeah, we won't do this too often. And during high school, I think I rarely had anyone come around, so it was pretty big deal when you know, my mate Jay came around. Because it was a big deal, I was like, yo, dude, I'm gonna clean up this house because our house is fairly large, and my parents generally got like my sisters and I to clean the house. So I was like, I'm gonna make this sparkle. I've got it. My parents allowed me to have a maid around. They're not generally too stressed with that, but like for this, they were like, you gotta make a good impression. I'm like, yeah, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So I made it spotless, ready for him. Like it was so clean that you could probably like eat a whole meal off the ground. Not that you would want to, but it was very clean. So I made it spotless, ready for him. And he arrived like half an hour later. after I like we arranged, and so I was like, hell yeah, like a little extra time to make it cleaner. We lived in a fairly large house at the time, so it took a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours I reckon, just to like make it look fairly decent from what it was already. Like it was generally in a nice looking state. So when he rocked up, everything was all good. We were like, "Yeah, how's it going?" I met his dad, and if great top bloke that dad. He's like a father to me. um, yeah, but so we caught up and we did what teenagers do: mess around, pick up balls. We had a couple of in jokes, just laughed it up, just had a good time. Somewhere along the lines of that, I was like, "Hey, dude, we've got a deli up the road, uh, a little spot because we live in like the middle of I don't know a farm area. It's very difficult to get to like food places. So we were like, oh yeah, we'll go for a walk. So it's about like 3K away. It's not like heaps far, but it's a bit of a walk uh, to the deli. So we trot her off up the road to go to the deli. Um, and my mate, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring this ball along, just play with it." And I was like, "Hey dude, that's fine." Not thinking too much of it. Um, so he picks up this ball, and we're just busy like tossing it to each other and all that. And when we were getting past like the first street, that's when we're on the main road. That main road is pretty scary. I walked up it like every day, like to get to my bus to go to high school. Um, but that main road's 80k an hour. So 80k's is, let me look it up in miles. So 80k is 50 miles. So it's reasonably fast. It's enough to kill a person. Um, so we were walking along this 80k road. It was in the middle of winter at the time, so it was a bit of wet. It was a bit squelchy, so we preferred to walk near the road where it was a bit more contained. Um, and so when he was busy taking this ball around on this 80k road or 50-mile road, he dropped the ball. And this ball decided, hey, it's gonna be a good idea to bounce into the road. Um, so it went and bounced, and I was like, damn, dude, that's scary. And I heard the whooshing noise, a bit of a whoosh noise of a car, and I was like, oh no, there's a car coming, and my mate's gonna go grab this ball. My mate Jay, oh, I'm so sorry, bro. You didn't need to go grab that. Anyway, he went to step out and grab this ball, and my fight or flight instincts kicked in, and I was like, yo, dude, no. And so I grabbed him by the shoulders and yanked him back as this car zooms past, and the ball goes underneath the car, and damn was it close. I pretty much he nearly died, and I saved his life. And he was like, "Whoa, dude, no way! I'm so sorry. You just saved my life." I'm like, "Dude, I mean, you could have died." And he's like, "Oh, without you, I would be dead." I'm like, "Oh, without me, you wouldn't have been here anyway. So I'm glad I still saved your life, dude." So those two memorable moments, my mate nearly being hit by a car and how we met was pretty good introduction to our friendship now. Him and I are still pretty great mates. We always catch up, but like in general, it was pretty good time introducing each other, getting to know each other. You know, we laugh upon both of those situations these days. How, he nearly died by a car, and how we met, where I dropped my pen and we stared lovingly into each other's eyes. I exclaimed, "Barker!" Nah, jokes. But he's a great guy. I'm glad we met, and we've definitely had some good experiences together, and probably many more to come. Anyway, if you like this video, feel free to check out my other videos. Uh, on this channel, we're a little bit different. Smash that dislike button, see what happens. The YouTube algorithms always do weird things, and I want to see what happens if we have tons of dislikes all the time. Hope you guys have beautiful days, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta ta!